We start at the Seoul Detention Center, where President Yoon Suk Yeol continues to refuse to partake in questioning sessions led by anti-corruption investigators. For details, I have Arirang Lee Soo-jin standing by live. Soo-jin, welcome. So in light of the president's refusal to meet with investigators, I understand a third attempt was made to take him in. Do tell us more.
Sure, so as it was announced in a briefing early this morning, the CIO has moved forward with another forced summons today. And just like you mentioned, this was a third such attempt. And the CIO announced just 2 hours ago that this third attempt was also unsuccessful. A CIO vehicle was seen moving through the main gates of the Seoul Detention Center at 10:20 a.m. today. And the CIO had considered several options, actually. One was forcibly transferring Yoon to the CIO interrogation room at the government complex in Gwacheon, and the other was carrying out on-site interviews in an investigation room at the detention center. But Yoon refused to comply with either as he continued to sit in consultations with his lawyers. This third attempt follows the first attempt that took place on Monday, followed by the second just yesterday, when the CIO had dispatched 6 investigators and prosecutors to the Seoul Detention Center at around 5 p.m. after the agency confirmed that the impeachment trial hearing had been concluded. But as Yoon did not immediately return to the facility but instead stopped by a military hospital for a medical checkup, the CIO officials were left to wait at the detention center. The officials were eventually forced to leave around 30 minutes after Yoon arrived at the detention center after 9 p.m. as regulations prohibit questioning detainees without their consent after 9 p.m. The agency is continuously making these efforts as there isn't much time before the CIO has to hand Yoon's case over to prosecutors before the detention period expires on the 28th.
Right, the 28th of January. Separately, Soo-jin, I understand anti-corruption officials launched a search and seize operation today targeting the presidential headquarters and residence.
Right, so the CIO began a search and seizure operation at both the president's residence and the presidential office, which are both also located at the Yongsan-gu district in central Seoul. And the CIO is aiming to secure encrypted phone records, meeting minutes, as well as computers. And this is because Yoon is currently facing allegations of using an encrypted phone to order top police and military officials to command troops to remove lawmakers from the National Assembly during his brief imposition of martial law. This move is seen as part of the CIO's attempt to secure additional evidence amid the difficulties faced when trying to conduct in-person interviews with Yoon. Yoon's lawyers have steadfastly maintained their stance of refusing to comply with the CIO investigation, saying that as they plan to attend all the impeachment hearings at the Constitutional Court, they need time to prepare. The search and seizure operations are expected to face challenges, namely from the Presidential Security Service, which has blocked the previous attempts.
Right, Soo-jin. What has been the response to the events thus far from the public gathered there outside the detention center? I mean, we can't see them, but we can for sure hear them loud and clear.
Right, so I've actually been here since the morning, and even then I could see people holding posters in support of him, and you can also definitely hear them through as the voices are amplified through loudspeakers. And we were actually forced to move locations right before this newscast because the sound had gotten so loud. And one of the main things you can hear is them chanting President Yoon's name, as well as you can hear in the background probably them singing. And there weren't that many people gathered in this morning or even early afternoon, but now you can definitely see, like you said, and hear that there more people have arrived. And along with a growing number of people on site, I've also noticed more police as part of precautions to prevent another incident like the storming of the Seoul Western District Court by Yoon supporters on Sunday. There are also numerous 119 emergency trucks that have been dispatched. And that's all I have for now. Back to you, Sunny.
All right, Soo-jin, thank you for the latest coverage. That was our Soo-jin reporting live on the latest with regard to the investigation into the president.